Today is about potential. You have potential, I have potential, but they're not the same potential. This seed that created this grew to its full potential as an avocado. This could not become this because even although they're both from seeds, they still have different potentials of what they can actually achieve. And so, just like a kiwi will also not become an avocado, same for us human beings. We all have potential. And exactly what is this? So, our job, I think, is to unlock our potential in anything we do. And I'm going to use a quote here by Simon Pan to unlock your potential in anything you do is going to require practice, consistency, and patience. That's what this papaya did. That's what the soil in which it was planted did. And if there's something missing from the soil, it will not grow into its full potential. None of us will. If we're planted in soils that does not nourish and fertilize our full potential, we will not live up to being this avocado as it got its full potential realized, nor this. So a lot of us had our potential shouted out of us, yelled out of us, raped out of us, abused out of us. But it doesn't mean you cannot take it back now. Yes, you can. Just like with roses, the rose will look at the ground and say, oh, the pH of that ground is too high. I'm going to die. The dandelion in that same exact pH and with the concrete all around it says, woohoo, concrete, let me blossom. So it doesn't matter what you've been through. You can blossom through anything and everything as long as you have exactly what you need, which is you've got to practice on a regular basis. You've got to have the consistency and the patience. You also need some support. And that is what I'm hoping this is giving you today. That's why I'm doing this today. You'll feel the support here for you. And if you get tired, just learn to rest, but do not quit. And of course, we all get tired. It's a lot to overcome trauma, especially childhood trauma. Is so hard to overcome, but it can be done. So you have to plant yourself in the seed in the soil that will fertilize you, because your past is not your potential. In any hour, you can choose to liberate the past into the future. This is so important to remember and know. So you've got to first let go of all the pain of the past in order to do that. So many of us are paralyzed by the expectation of perfection that we miss out on the exhilaration of experience. And I'm so happy for this because it is so important. Please read this again because most of us are just too paralyzed by the expectation of perfection. When I say living up to true potential, I'm not thinking about perfection. I'm not looking for perfection in the least. It's the same here. The actual dandelion doesn't look for perfection, but it sure is perfect when it finds the right conditions, which is the worst conditions for the rose. So the reality is that because of all the pain and the trauma you might have suffered, the reality is that you will grieve forever. You will not get over the loss of a loved one, nor the loss of your childhood, but you will learn to live with it. You will heal and you will rebuild yourself around the loss you have suffered. You will be whole again, but you will never be the same, nor should you be the same, nor would you want to. And this is from Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, along with John Coates, because Elizabeth Kubler-Ross wrote the book on death and dying, which I recommended to so many people. In fact, I recommend to all my clients who are grieving. And this is so important to know. Very, very important. And like Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. And that's what I'm inviting you to do today, to just create a habit of excellence, of rising up. How would you know what's your full potential? You don't know if you've always sunk down into the muck and mire. But first, pull yourself out, and then you'll get there. And I suggest this book to you. Don't sweat the small stuff at work. But I'm saying don't sweat the small stuff anywhere, anytime in your life. And I really recommend it to you if you're having a rough time right now and saying you have no idea what's going on in my workplace and what I deal with on a daily basis. I suggest you take the time to read that, because you were born with potential. You were born with goodness and trust. You were born with ideals and dreams. You were born with greatness. You were born with wings. You are not meant for crawling any longer. So please don't. You have wings. Learn to use them to fly. And how do you find your wings? Well, first start detoxing. Start doing some purification. Start taking care of yourself. Start getting sleep when you're sleepy. Wake up when it's time for you to embrace a whole new way of living. Let each day be a whole new way for you of living that you've never done before. Get some counseling, get some assistance, get some help. You say, I don't have the money for that. You know, I do have this every single weekday, Monday to Friday, where I do my best to give you encouragement to think outside of the box. So there's lots of help available free of charge. And I totally and completely invite you today to think about, are you living up to your full potential? And if so, congratulations. And if you feel there's more, then open up, spread the wings a little further, rise up and go for it. And if not, this is your moment. This is your time. How do I know this? Because you would not be listening to this otherwise. The universe is that generous and that loving. Just when we need something, we get it. So welcome aboard to your full potential. See you around Monday to Friday, same time, weekdays on the same platform. Please click the notification subscribe button and please leave me your comments below. See you around.